Live.
Like we're live and alive.
Indeed, indeed. And I am very excited to be here because actually Arlene is in Brazil and I am in Guatemala, and this is the end of my street. So I thought to bring some Guatemala this way to you guys. And yeah, we're just going to do something really fun today. We're going to see Arlene's magic powers. And so what we planned is that she's going to take me through a lovely little mini session. And this is exactly what you will be able to experience with her as well if you choose to work with her. And I highly recommend it because, yeah, all my sessions with her are just like, wow, amazing. So very, very grateful for you, Arlene, for doing this with me and for me.
Sure. So the very first comment about that is that it's important to have a check-in before you start to do a little piece of work. So I want to invite my friend and colleague Ildy to offer us a check-in for everybody to get present and ready so that we can have the best benefits from doing a short reset.
So I would like to ask everybody, if you're comfortable with it, to close your eyes. If not, just look at the tip of your nose. And as you are closing your eyes or looking at the tip of your nose, really start focusing on the present moment. And really focus on every breath that you are taking. Just notice how you are breathing at this moment, in and out. And you might notice that you're breathing quite fast, or you might notice that you're breathing very slowly and deeply. But whatever is going on, it's okay. This is the reality, and just accept it with love and kindness. And I would like to invite you to run through all the tasks in your mind that you had to do today before you arrived to this session. Just really quickly think about all the things that since you woke up, what were the things that you had to do since this morning to arrive to this 15 minutes quick check-in session with us. And then all those things that you put on your list, put it in a bag. Imagine that you're putting them in a bag and you just put that bag down next to you. You don't need to focus on any of that right now. Just be present that they are still there. And then I would like to invite you to think about all the things that you will need to do after this mini session with us. And once again, run through your mind's eyes, everything that you'll need to do. And put those things as well, your entire list, into the same bag. Or put it in a separate one. It's up to you. But then I'm going to invite you to, wherever you are, let those things go. So put them outside of your door and close the door behind it. So can you really arrive in your body, in your mind, and just really feel the power of this present moment. And let's do a very quick check-in with our body as well. So let's run through, how's our body feeling? The top of the head, the neck, the shoulders area, the arms, the upper back, the chest, lower back, mid back, abdominal. How you're holding your hips, your thighs. What are you noticing in your knees, your ankles, your feet? And take one more conscious breath. Once again, really bring in the power of this present moment. And whenever you are ready, open your eyes, put a smile on your face, And we are welcoming you here back with us, where Arlene is going to do something very exciting. She's going to do her magic.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate your check-in that we can do together for everybody else. We're going to go right to the point today. And my reflection is for busy professionals, or maybe even on the weekend or holidays of the busy professional. Sometimes we get into a stuck state, or a not very good state, or a bad feeling state, or a grouchy state, or something like that. And that completely, either it's going to affect our performance if it's on a work day, or it's going to affect how we're recharging our batteries if it's on another day. It's both important. And when we have stuck states or bad states, it's always part of a system. So when we have a stuck state or a bad state, typically that starts inviting in limiting beliefs, viral thoughts, bad scenarios of the future, even a selective memory that might be focused on bad things, or since what you focus on expands in this bad or stuck state. We put our filters on the world, and if we're consciously thinking, we're going to get a very poor selection of information and probably have the chance to make the state feel worse. So we want to, when we have a poor state, we want to acknowledge it and to explore it just enough so that we can find out some of the key components. And that helps us observe ourselves compassionately. And then we get to add in new ingredients. That's a little explanation. And if you do this often enough, when you have bad habits of having bad states, the bad states become like a basin, and they become deep and wide, and you fall into the bad state. Not you, but somebody might fall into the bad state frequently and deeply. And the more that we work on our mindfulness, then they start getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And sometimes for a few minutes, we might get into a bad state, and then we say, wait a minute. That's not taking me to my enjoyment, to my alignment, to serving and everything else like that. That's not for my highest good or the highest good of others. So let's just add something to it. That's the basic explanation of it. So when we have a bad state, remember, we probably have some components. If there's a belief, there's going to be the positive intention of the belief. There are going to be values that are stuck together with the belief, and the person may not want to get rid of the bad state because that means getting rid of their values. It means memories coming up and futures being projected. So it's kind of like complex molecule that we want to take apart very, very kindly. So how do we do this? The first thing is to do a check-in like we did. And at that moment, when you can acknowledge there's kind of a bad or a stuck state, we want to be curious about it. We want to be present, like Ildy and I will hear, we would say to each other, we're present, I'm with you, and it's safe to explore the state. And so we invite ourselves, we invite another person for just for a moment, or just for a little bit. Let's explore that bad state. Okay, you can try just feeling it with curiosity. Where is it in your body? Where is it localized? And the person asks themselves, they just answer those questions. And what kind of sensations, what kind of feeling? If it had a texture, what would it be? Would it be spongy or solid or empty or dense and full? If it were like a material, what would it be like? And this is already creating an observer position because we're asking curious questions. It's just how we made it up. So how did I make it up? And if it had colors, what would they be? I made it, so what colors did I make it with? And what does that look like? And what does it sound like? Remember, we're getting a little bit close to the unpleasantness of a bad or a stuck state, but we're doing it with awareness and with mindfulness. So we be curious about it. We accept the information that comes up. And also we stay just long enough to ask, well, what am I trying to get out of this state? What's my positive intention that keeps me in this state in some kind of direction, either to protect myself or to help me get something I want in the belief system that's inside the state. And we just get curious about that. Well, that's a funny idea that I was making inside that state. That's interesting. And maybe think, well, that sounds like something from my past, or that sounds like something that I learned. And that's a generalization, what I learned. And if I generalize from conclusions about what I learned in the past, and I'm focusing only on that, I can probably find some negative scenarios that I'm making in this bad state. And it's just thinking and feeling. I'm so much more than that. You are so much more than your thoughts, so much more than your feelings, so much more than the words of your self-talk in your mind, so much more than that. So now that you've taken a little investigation, just like it looks like it's very natural to do, you take a breath, and we're going to actually do something physical at this point. We're going to get up out of our chairs, all the way up out of the chairs, and get behind here. Here's my white chair. Ildy has her chair. And yeah, it's kind of, when you put your hands on somebody's chair, you put your hands on somebody's back, and it has that message like, I support you, I'm here with you. So we take on that posture, and we look at the person that's in the chair having that rough moment. And it's like we're putting our hands behind the person, we're talking to ourselves, looking at ourselves and say, hey, I'm here with you. It makes sense.
Well, that's like that right now. I feel like it.
That's what you would do. You would have this relationship. Yeah, I'm here. It makes sense. No recrimination. It makes sense. It's okay. And I even know, as you speak to yourself, that something inside here is trying to wake up. It's just not going forward in that way. So here I am. I am here. And I acknowledge. And I hold. And I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know what I can bring to this relationship. And so in this place where Ildy is standing up, where I'm standing up, since we're out of it, we're connected, we can feel empathetically, but we can imagine that the limiting feelings inside the chair, and then now we're free in our body to think about, well, what's some really good memories that I have about times that I felt carefree, times that I felt totally connected, times that I felt wholeness, because I can open up my whole mental space to all the experiences of my life. And there's so many wonderful experiences of life. There's one particular one may come in. We call it a core state. Wholeness, beingness, connection, transcendence. And we already know we're connected. The feeling is where it should be in that chair to remember what we're working on. But here we're free. So we breathe, we use our mindfulness. I'm here in the present, remembering my posture, remembering how my spine is, my breathing is, my shoulders, even some of the key gestures that help me remember that moment with probably a different facial expression. And then it's just really quickly making a difference, like a smile. 2 minutes is going to be quite enough to start a new circulation of the emotional molecules that are already circulating through the body. They're going around, going through every cell. There's already been enough time of breathing and heart beating that the blood has gone to every cell. It's waking up every cell to remember this wonderful state. There you go. And in this wonderful state, you'll notice, oh God, I feel so good. When I feel great, some things are truly, truly important. And you ask yourself, when I'm in this state, what is truly, truly important to me? And in this wonderful state, probably your language is so simple that you answer one word or maybe 3 words, like peace of spirit or something like that. It's very much a body language. You give words to what your body feels.
Freedom. It's freedom.
Oh, when one person guides the other person, they get all the work of the other person. It's so good. So now we have freedom. And now I know that any person, when they say something is truly important, they've been building up experiences their whole life. They've been accumulating experiences, their favorite masters, their favorite mentors, their favorite authors, their favorite guides. And this point, we can start remember, oh my gosh, how many memories of support I have about me giving value to that core value, like freedom, for example. And to remember, oh my gosh, how many memories of that. And then since you have so many memories of the past, these wonderful memories, it becomes so much easier to think about the future in a positive way. And so freedom, for example, if freedom is me and who I am and what I deeply, truly value, just how much surety, how sure I am that freedom is going to be part of my evolutionary story, that I'm going to be meeting and greeting and living freedom and discovering new ways, pathways opening up. How sure I am that my future is filled with freedom because it's part of me. And then we take all of this together and we use a simple resource. We call it an anchor. There's a good one, you know. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this back to the person that's in the chair, and we're going to donate to the person that's in the chair. So here we go. Go back down. You use that anchor. Here you go. Here I am.
Let's connect.
Let's connect. Yeah, bring in your thoughts. It's okay. Bring your concerns. I'm here with these resources. That's okay if you have some not so nice memories. Think of all these, how many other memories there are too. It's like a deck of cards. Deck of cards has 52 cards. Maybe one or two have those memories. It's like that in our timeline. Some memories, but there's so many wonderful memories. And sometimes the mind creates scenarios, and sometimes they're useful kind of as an alert to help our wisdom. But there's so many incredible, infinite possibilities of the future. And I'm very sure they include my core value, like freedom. So you go, here I am, here you go. Reset.
Yeah, relax. I have to say, it was so beautiful. Like I could see this yellow, kind of like prickly light in my throat, you know, as the stuck energy, as we put it into colors and shapes. And I love that question as the miracle question, right? When just like, okay, so what is the positive intention of all of this? And when I heard this question, I was like, holy shit, what is the, excuse my English and French, but you know, it's just like, what really, yeah, the positive intention, you know, when we get so stuck, when I get so stuck, like, you know, because there's always a reason, right? We just don't know the reason why we got that stuckness, but obviously there is always a positive intention. So
we're trying to create a solution, but the way we're going about it isn't taking it there. There's really the intention in a bad state. People are trying to get to the good state.
Indeed. And I don't know if anybody were doing it with us and tried it out, but for me, like, you know, doing the kinesthetic work and going behind the chair and looking onto you know, myself and seeing myself, you know, in that state, and all I want is just to give a hug and love to myself, because, you know, I can reassure me that everything is going to be okay. Like it's, and we all get stuck like this, like we said last week as well, that, you know, even us who teach this we still can get stuck, and we still need each other to pull out one another from these states, and that's totally normal. It's just life. This is how we grow. So it's no shame in this game. It's actually like, you know, when we're able to accept and be like, yeah, this is where I am. That's where I think the power comes from, because now we have the power to actually move things. So
it's state management, it's dynamic balance of our systems. And if you understand what you've done to get out of balance, then you discover exactly what to do to bring it up. It's like standing on one foot, you know, kind of more wobbly, but then your body has this incredible wisdom about how to come back. You make those crazy wobbly movements because we're trying to find our, you know, whoa, you know, what we're trying to do is to find our, this is not falling, this is trying to come back. And so sometimes it works better than others.
Indeed. So once again, Arlene, thank you so much for your magic. And everybody, you can see that even in this 15 minutes, she was able to make changes, like big changes in my feelings. And if it worked for me, I'm pretty sure that it's going to work for you as well. So yeah, she's here for us to help us. So connect with Arlene and try out her magic in a one-on-one session.
Thank you, dear. Enjoy Guatemala. Thank you, all of you that are here following us along, live or later. It's all good. It's all together. Thank you.